Guruji, thank you so much. I consider it a privilege to be here, and thanks to my friend Raju Bhai for inviting me. With my limited knowledge about spirituality, I'm asking this question. How the central of the teachings of Krishna consciousness is about the concept of creator, controller, and designer,
Right.
and also about karma.
Yeah.
So many individuals do not have the capability to carry their conscious memory from one life to another.
Yes, most people do.
So, how will then this help us to be on the rightful path to achieve that spiritual evolution when we are not carrying our memory of any good or bad karma from one life to another?
I got the point. So basically, what we understand, I'm going to make question, just broader question so they can understand the question.
Thank you.
That we understand process of karma and getting karmic reactions is meant to teach us lessons. Yep, I get the question wrong.
That's right.
And so in learning lessons, if we don't remember, let's say what happened in our past, like let's say in our past, okay, let's give a legal example. In my past life, I was tortured because I was eating chicken. Son, let's say hypothetical. Past life, I became a chicken. Because in the life before past life, I was eating chicken. Because if you eat a chicken, you become a chicken. So why in this life am I not going to eat chickens? Because I don't remember what happened. The best.
That's right.
Or a good way to.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a really good question. Because generally, one learn. However, the interesting thing is, because you are learning with the subtle body, you have two bodies, two material bodies. So you have two material bodies. You have a root body, which is this thing. And you have a subtle body, which carries the impressions from one lifetime to another. That subtle body is mind, intelligence, also. Root body comes to my level to my sessions, very form. So that subtle body does not make its consciousness, does not make itself known through our external consciousness in this body. But the impressions that are there are actually become part of our consciousness, even though they are subconscious. And I'll give you practicals. Do you remember how you learned to walk?
No.
So how come you learn you can walk now without remembering how you learned to walk?
It's muscle memory.
Muscle memory, in the subconscious. So you may have certain phobias,
Yes.
fears. You may not remember. And also talking. You don't remember how you learned to talk. Certainly you're talking right now. And so we have all these things that we learned when we were young, whether they're walking or talking, that we don't remember how we learned. Yet somehow the lesson is said. For example, sometimes people are born with certain phobias, like claustrophobia. Claustrophobia is a phobia means like a fear, where you're very fearful of being in a closed space. And so, for no reason or other, someone has claustrophobia. And that's because in the last life, they probably died in closed space. Traumatic. We know that when we have traumatic experiences, we suffer from PTSD, even if we don't remember what that traumatic experience was. So that's even the physical memory of the person. What's this speak from? And so there's no need of remembering how you learned the lesson to have learned it.
Yeah. So you're referring to the power of subconsciousness.
The power of the conscious. I mean, sometimes you can draw these things out through hypnotism.
Yes.
And you say, man, when you were young, with some adult part, kind of a PTS, and they go to a hypnotist and destroys that. So a lot of our memories, particularly memories of past lives, are in the subconscious.
Thank you, Guruji.